you can actually also get better and better at saving. And today I'm going to share with you a quick framework on how I've actually increased my savings ratios to more than 70%. I am based in Singapore, a very expensive city. I have actually 2 young kids, very proud of them. But of course, with young kids, there's extra expenses, correct? But there's also additional responsibilities to be prudent, as well as to prepare myself for retirement so that I don't become a burden to them. And the first thing when I look back at my journey is actually the why. Know what you're saving for, what motivates you, or what are you afraid of? Sometimes fear drives us in the right direction, correct? Why is always at the center of everything. If you want to lose weight, it's always why. If you want to get early to office, it's also why. Now, if you want to save more and become better financially, it's also going to start with why. Why brings about a purpose, a motivation, and also some clarity. Even though we may have different reasons of why, I think focusing on your very why is still important. For myself, as I've shared already, it's about becoming financially independent so that when I retire, I don't become a burden to them. And also here on YouTube, as I teach on retirement and financial planning, I also want to lead by example. So why is the first point. With that, let's branch out to the second point, which is who. Who are you going on this journey with? Is it your spouse? Is it your partner? Is it your child? Or is it your parent? If there's someone other than you, it makes the meaning a lot stronger, correct? There's this saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Make sure that who is also aligned with you in your long-term vision of finances. Myself, often we eat in food courts, hawker centers, coffee shops, and we are quite happy with simpler options. My wife is not into expensive bags or fancy stuff also, and that makes the alignment a lot easier. If not, there could be friction, correct? And while we are looking for thrifty ideas, it's also not about living broke. There are times also to go and celebrate in restaurants or just to eat something different. So the mission again is not to drag yourself to financial freedom by suffering. It's about going at the right pace, and it's about getting a good balance between today's needs as well as future needs. It's like if you dream to build a retirement together. I've often also shared with my wife what the dream retirement would be so that she's on board with it, correct? So in terms of this, I've also this sharing for you. If you dream alone, it's just a dream. But if you dream together, it becomes reality. So again, who you dream together with, make sure they are on board in your financial freedom journey. After the why and who, we now move on to what, which is the third sphere. What do you really need to do? And one key phrase, track your progress. If you know you're progressing, you definitely have a lot more motivation, correct? It's just like we are going to hike up a tall mountain. And after 15 minutes of hike, you feel tired. And what do? You look up, correct? You see how far you are from the summit. And if you realize, hey, I've made some progress, it's worthwhile. That gives you additional motivation to continue walking on. Same thing with building finances, same thing with going with a long-term goal of retirement. Once you can see yourself progressing, it gives you a lot more motivation to continue the journey. So for myself, I should share with my wife how we've been building along the years so that she remains committed to the journey also, even though she leaves most of decision making to me. And to that point also, I think it's important if you have a partner or a spouse to really be transparent, because this ties in again to the dream together, you make it a reality, correct? So track your progress, communicate your progress, and that brings us to the fourth sphere, which is when. When is the best time to save? It's quite obviously when you have a pay rise or when you have bonuses. It is true that we all have fixed expenses, so I get it. It's very difficult to chop away something and save $500 immediately. We all have certain habits, and it's going to take a while to make some changes. But you realize when you have a bonus coming in, that is surplus, correct? The decision becomes how much you want to set aside for the future. If it's the majority, you realize you can compound and build a retirement pot faster. I have a full tutorial on how to save out your bonuses, which I'll leave in links above and towards the end of this. Then the other big time that you can save up a lot more is actually when you get a pay rise. This is after I've looked back at my journey also. So in terms of expenses and income, what I realized in my journey, as my income increased, I try to cap the increment in terms of the expenses. There's always lifestyle inflation, correct? You have more choices, you want to try something different, or now this experience you can pay for it already. It's normal. But the goal again is to cap the expense inflation much lower than the income growth. That you see, over time, that gap becomes very big. Because as you grow income, through promotions, through getting better at your industry, through knowing a bit better how to make money, you would realize that if you keep your expenses fairly tight, the gap will become bigger and bigger from 30% to 50%, even to 70%. I can share a bit more in this ebook that I've written, How to $1 Million. It can help you understand finances a lot better. Pick that up and also bundle in with this second ebook, 28 Days to Financial Freedom. This book touches more on investments, so both these books can really help you expand beyond what I can cover for today. So keep your expenses flat as your income grows. And that leads to a fifth sphere, which is where. Where do you need to keep areas of budgets very tight? 80-20 rule will tell us where our biggest expenses are, correct? Looking back at my journey, the most expensive, of course, is this, house. My mortgage for here is $500,000 and less only. We've avoided taking big mortgage loans. We've even done prepayments early to cut this loan to a smaller size. Next biggest item is the car, $124,000. But that is of course with a cheaper COE price in 2017. But the main part is the choice of car is also not something very extravagant. I've shared before that I use a Mazda 6. And that amount has been fully paid off. So there's no car loans that could be a drag to monthly budgets. Then the next is actually on home renovation. Home renovation for this is around $58,000, and we did not take a single cent of renovation loan. Actually, $58,000 seems very cheap, I do understand that, but again, renovation is all up to expectation, correct? So the 80-20 rule is that these big ticket items, if we pull the purse string by 20%, you realize that big sums will not be expended out unnecessarily. Then what about for day-to-day living? Where are the areas to tighten on? The first thing when I look back at my own journey is that I still take economy class. I still take budget flights. All this while I'm still a big advocate of bringing your families to more holidays to create more memories. Then in terms of meals, I hardly ever order alcohol at a restaurant. But that's maybe also because of the fight of any beer belly. So where to keep budgets tight rounds up the entire equation, which starts at the first, why? Why do you want to save better and build towards a better financial future? Who you should save with? Who you should communicate to? What you need to do is to track your progress. And when is the best time to save is when you have bonuses as well as pay increments. And where are the areas to hold on tight? And to round up this entire thing, there are also two hows to help you save a bit better. The first how is to create a savings account that's separate from the account that's receiving your income. That means the pay yourself first concept. Put that money aside, don't touch it, build up the emergency fund until you're ready to invest more. So a separate account keeps the idea of paying yourself first, and the equation becomes very simple because what you spend is just the remainder. Then the next part of the how is to automate. Automate this savings into investments. The biggest secret again is to do dollar cost average with a systematic investment plan. Every month sending $1,000 or $2,000, and very soon you realize you can compound big monies up. Very, very doable. As always, if you have questions, leave them in the comment sections. Or if you'd like to share your own financial freedom journey, let me know also in the comment sections, because we can all learn a thing or two with each other. With that, I'll sign off from here and see you in this previous tutorial on how to build $1 million with bonuses, something I've covered just now. Hopefully it can inspire you in your journey also, and I'll see you there. Take care as always, goodbye.